is your Pisces full moon, blue moon, supermoon outlook for August 30th, 2023. And we have the moon at 7 degrees, the full moon at 7 degrees Pisces with retrograde Saturn in Pisces. And of course, the sun at 7 degrees of Virgo. And this is a rare full moon. Why? Because it's a blue moon. It occurs as a full moon twice the same month. Additionally, the blue moon only occurs once approximately every 2.5 years. And it's a supermoon because this supermoon, full moon in Pisces is going to be only 222,043 miles from our Earth. So this is going to look very big and very beautiful in a proximity from our Earth. And what is Pisces? Pisces is a water sign, a very water sign. And when you have this full moon and conjunct debilitating Saturn retrograde in Pisces, Pisces is all about what? It is about moisture. It is about water. Moisture in our atmosphere, or in this case with retrograde Saturn in Pisces and the depositor retrograde Neptune in Pisces, it can be about the lack of water. And because this is a supermoon, there's not likely going to be any gray area. There may be some concerns or topic of discussions about the oceans. It could be discussions about what? Some very big storms or issues connected with water, the oceans, oil, minerals, and so on. And especially because of this natural opposition with the sun in very particular Virgo. And what does Virgo rule? Virgo is connected with the 6th house, and Virgo is connected with health. It is connected with wellness. Virgo is the researcher, and is very good with research too, by the way. And Virgo is extremely critical and analytical in its thinking. And the 6th house is connected with animals. It's connected with the daily ins and outs, the mundane. It is connected with the workplace, physical health, diet, exercise, and so on. And these topics are going to come under the microscope now, and especially the connection with the full moon and retrograde Saturn. There could be issues with what? 6th house by the 12th house. There could be issues with animals or sea life now. And we will have to go back to the past with this retrograde karmic Saturn and make corrections about sea life, animals, moisture, water, oil, and what else? Anything that has to do with health care, mental health, physical health, diet, exercise, reforms. There's that word, reforms, connected with the past. And what else is this Virgo and Neptune depositor connection with Saturn and the moon? It's about what? The sixth house, and it's all about the workplace, corporations, businesses, small businesses, large businesses, and employment, and so on. So, this is also going to be the topic of discussion: the workplace, corporations, businesses, and what? Oh, that's Saturn retrograde in Pisces. But what? Reforms, going back to the past and making corrections. But because we've got this blue moon, supermoon, and the very extreme watery sign of Pisces, we're going to have to be on the lookout for some of these very big storms between now and the next full moon. Yes, indeed. It is going to be very active with an overabundance of moisture, water issues with water, oil, sea, water, anything, and the underabundance because we've got both Saturn, the debilitator, and the depositor of Neptune retrograde. So there is no gray area here. There's either going to be overabundance or underabundance of moisture, or the extreme connected with this Virgo and Pisces axis. Yes, and because Saturn is retrograde, like many of the planets right now, including Mercury, the communicator, including the powerhouse Pluto, including Neptune in Pisces, and the unexpected Uranus. What is this about? It's about, as aforementioned, going back to the past and having to make corrections. And with Saturn retrograde on the block now, Saturn is reminding us, someone like Pluto in Capricorn retrograde with its depositor of Saturn in Pisces, that there are issues from the past that we will have to make corrections now. And this is overemphasized because of all these retrograde planets right now. You can be rest assured. And Saturn is reminding us that if we do not make corrections from the past, that there will be karma to pay. So look out. This is going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride with this connection with this super blue moon, supermoon, in very watery, emotional Pisces. And because it is in a sign of Pisces, yes, our emotions are also going to be heightened to the extreme now. And this may not occur on August 30th. It may not occur until later, until closer to the next full moon. But during this next 29 and a half days, our emotions may get to the extreme. And that's another issue of which Pisces is connected with, especially with that 12th house. Pisces is emotional. It's very sensitive. It's very feeling. And with Virgo is very grounded, very sensible. It's like, let's just take the practical approach. And the full moon is like, no, this is very much an issue. And what else is the moon connected with? It is connected with the collective. It is connected with the masses. So there's going to be issues connected with the 6th house and the 12th house, health care, issues with the oceans, moisture, storms, the workplace, the anything connected with animals, sea life that's really going to get our emotions and our sentiments going. But this is very good, though, to some degree, because number one, we are going back and we are trying to make corrections. And two, with Pisces, Pisces is a very sentimental, yes, emotional sign, but is a very kind-hearted and charitable sign. So we may feel like right now, connected with the masses and the collective, that there is some issue of utmost importance that really gets our sentiments going, our emotions, but equally our kindness, our charity, and what? Because Pisces comes after the sign of Aquarius, it's about our humanity in the highest. It's not about our opinions or our judgments. It's about our heartfelt love for humanity and that sense of charity and the love for each other that it's going to be at its highest right now during this time. And this is good because guess what? We've got a beautiful Earth connection with, yes, even Mercury elevated in Virgo. And Jupiter and Uranus, although not quite yet within the conjunction, in the very grounded sign of Taurus, even with Uranus retrograde in Taurus, and the very practical but powerhouse Pluto in Capricorn. And remember, Pluto is always connected with the powers that be. But right now, Pluto actually is feeling kind of good this time because why? During this Pisces full moon, we have a beautiful Earth and water sextile, even if they are both retrograde with Neptune. And keep in mind, Neptune is the depositor of the full moon and Saturn. So whatever issue is at hand, Pluto, with the powers that be, leadership, is really there to guide us, to lend a hand, or somehow to help us keep our feet grounded on the ground and not getting carried away with this sense of emotionalism, with this Pisces connection. So whatever's going on here, it's really going to move us and get our sentiments going. And Pluto is stepping in with this connection with Uranus and with Mercury, yes, even retrograde in Virgo, and really with this not quite but nearly grand trine here on Earth, really getting us to take a more sensible, intelligent Virgo approach to whatever it is that we are going to have to deal with and handle, especially with our emotions that are really going to be getting going now with this Pisces connection. And additionally, we, however, also have Mars in its detriment, yes, in Libra at 2 degrees, barely there in Libra, but nonetheless, what else? This makes a beautiful out of sign trine to the powers that be, the powerhouse on the block, Pluto. So, yes, during this time of this Pisces full moon, Pluto is feeling kind of good now. And especially with this air connection, although out of sign, this additionally gives us some good grounding, because air is connected with what? It's about ideas, it's about movement, and what is Mars, and even in its detriment in the sign of Libra, but it's about cooperation, it's about harmony, and really working together. So, on the other hand, we've got this emotional connection with Neptune, the full moon in Pisces, debilitating Saturn in Pisces. So there's a bit of an issue with these 12th house, 6th house axis as aforementioned issues that will come up and become the forefront. And then we've got Mars, the action planet in Libra, making an out of sign trying to powerhouse Pluto. So this is good because our sentiments, our charity is going to be really heightened now, but we've got Mars in the cooperation sign of Libra. So even though Mars is not at its best in this sign, it is very good because we want to share ideas with each other. We even have a little bit of the powers that be that are going to help out a little bit, and this is connected with government, it is connected with structure, whether it's the structure within society and the breakdown, because after all, Pluto is retrograde, or it is literal structure of physical uh, structures in general that could be a topic right now that comes up. But with Mars and harmony, seventh house oriented, beauty oriented Libra, we want to cooperate and harmonize with each other and kind of create a better world, if you may, especially because the depositor with Mars in Libra is Venus. Also retrograde in Leo now. Yes, indeed. So there may be some conflicts that come up because we're feeling awfully emotional now with this supermoon in Pisces, but we want to cooperate. We want to work with each other. We want to appeal to the powers that be. We really want to kind of join together. Also, Libra, what is that about? It's about legalities and contracts. So there could be a lot discussed now about courts and legal whatever contracts will also come to the fore. But what is it about? It's about negotiating because of this out of sign trine. But again, we've got something that's really getting our emotions going. But with all these retrograde connections now, and yes, Venus, the planet of love and affection, going backwards, this is all about really focusing in on cooperation and giving. Why? Because one thing that Leo and Pisces have in common is they are both very kind-hearted. With Leo, it's about the show a little bit. It's very magnanimous. Leo is very heartfelt. It's very out there. But nonetheless, with Leo, it's very big-hearted. And that connects with the connection with the very loving, sweet, kind-hearted Pisces sign. And so this emphasizes this need for what? For cooperating with each other. However, we cannot ignore retrograde Leo is also making a square off with Jupiter. And as we know, even with this grounding with Jupiter, Uranus, Pluto, and yes, retrograde Mercury and the Sun in Virgo, yes, this gives us some grounding, but we cannot ignore when retrograde planets are retrograde, they are not always at their best. And we've got retrograde Uranus, so that's the planet of the sudden and the unexpected. And we've got Jupiter, as mentioned, in the big planet Jupiter, very earthy sign of Taurus. So, with this making a square off between Venus, the planet of love and affection, and our sense of style and affection, yes, expression. Yes, we will have to be careful of some conflicts in the love department here with our affections, with our sense of self and expression, because it's about what? It's about the fifth house retrograde with Leo, Venus, and the second house of our money and our values. So this could be another topic of, well, opposition or conflict, because we may have a feeling like our sense of fun, anything to do with children's issues, pregnancies, anything to do with speculation or creative insights will be challenged by those who have other values or connections with financial and that which is dealing with speculation, which could be anything to do with investments, the stock market, you name it. And that's also going to come under a microscope now. And what else is Jupiter? Because Jupiter really likes to exaggerate. We will have to be careful of some of these disagreements getting out of hand because of our values, our connections with children's issues, speculation, money, and the like. But thank goodness there is this sweet, almost near grand trine with Uranus and Pluto and retrograde Mercury, I should say, retrograde Mercury, Uranus, and retrograde powerhouse Pluto. So that's kind of giving us a little bit of grounding during this time of emotionalism and sentiment. But hey, sometimes a little conflict is not always negative. It really brings out, especially with Pluto retrograde here, some of these unseen, behind the scene, under the surface beliefs and tension that will have to come to the surface. And if, well, yes, Pluto, but if Jupiter has anything to do with it, and Pluto, any disagreements will go from under the surface now to way out there. And especially with this full moon in Pisces with retrograde Saturn, there is this sense that whatever conflicts or whatever emergencies we will have to deal now have a karmic sense that at the end of the day, what with all these retrograde planets, Mercury, Uranus, Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune, what? There again, we have to go back to the past and we have to make these changes, because with Saturn on the block now, karmic retrograde, that only reminds us. And there may also be some issues with the powers that be, because what? Pluto is the powerhouse, and that is also retrograde, and its depositor is, guess who, but Saturn retrograde, and that depositor is, guess who, Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So something with the powers that be, with the 6th house by the 12th house, is really going to gain our attention right now. And the emotions are high. It's connected with the public and the 12th house, 6th house, powers that be. But thank goodness we've got this earth connection and this connection with magnanimous Leo and Pisces that can only add to a touch of our sensitivities now. Now, one last thing. Additionally, what is Pisces? What is Virgo? Yes, it's about healthcare, health, mental health, physical health. Yes, it is about the 6,000 corporations. Yes, it's about some topics or issues with water, moisture, sea life in the oceans. We can't ignore that. But besides this emotional time right now, what is Pisces connected with? But because it is connected with the 12th house, it's about what? It's about mysteries. It's about the unknown. So, right now, during this time of emotionalism and really trying to connect with each other, yet trying to avoid some of the drama with this earth connection, it's also a time that there's going to be an issue or issues of topics of focus about what? Mysteries, secrets, a mystery, a secret that we will have to figure out now. Something that's really gonna get our curiosity going. A big mystery, mysteries or secrets, because we've got this full moon, supermoon in Pisces, and it's gonna be a big deal. And with Virgo there, even with Mercury retrograde and the sun applying a conjunction with that Mercury retrograde, there's something that we're just gonna get to the bottom of it. What is it? What mystery? What secrets do we have to figure out? What is the truth? Because Mercury in Virgo is the natural researcher, and we want to take the intelligent approach. Virgo wants facts. Virgo doesn't want to get lost in the emotionalism of Pisces. And again, this goes back to the grounding of Pluto, Jupiter, Uranus, and the Sun and Mercury in Virgo. So we want to take that intelligent, sensible approach to figuring out and researching the facts. What is the truth? What is not the truth? And this is going to become very pertinent now. Now, on a side note, what does Neptune and Pisces connect with? It's connected with what? Illusion. And Pisces is known to also be connected with celebrities and Hollywood because of this sense of glamour and illusion. So there may be some topics of discussion right now regarding celebrities, those that are renowned, glamour, and so on and so forth. But what overall this Pisces full moon, blue moon, supermoon is all about is really connecting with each other, going within and really giving right now, and giving of our time, our charity, our sentiment, not getting carried away with whatever is moving us and getting carried away with drama or over the top emotionalism. It's about taking the sensible approach and really cooperating with each other, because at the end of the day, with all these retrograde planets now and the emphasis with the full moon, it's about making corrections. And this will be the topic of discussion, because with Saturn in the mix, it reminds us what we go back to the past to make corrections on will affect us in our future. But with all this connection with really opening up and connecting and really making changes and bettering our future, no matter what transpires with this Pisces full moon, and really reaching out and understanding, sympathizing with each other. At the end of the day, that is the message of this Pisces full moon. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is down below. I give one-on-one readings and written reports. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification. Until next time, many, many blessings.